Hey book lovers! Welcome back to the channel where we turn pages and spill opinions. Today, we're diving into a book that has absolutely stolen my heart, and probably rearranged a few emotional wires in the process. I'm talking about Hello Beautiful by Ann Napolitano. Yep, the same brilliant author who gave us Dear Edward has done it again, and honestly, she may have just outdone herself. This one's a stunning piece of literary fiction, draped in romance, soaked in family dynamics, and sprinkled with historical depth. It's got everything: heartbreak, hope, complex characters, and prose that feels like a warm blanket and a punch to the gut, sometimes all at once. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's get into it. Okay, no spoilers here, I promise. Hello Beautiful opens with a boy named William Waters. He grows up in a cold and emotionally distant household, shaped by a family tragedy that's left deep, unspoken wounds. Fast forward to his college years, and he meets Julia Padovano, a fiercely ambitious young woman with a vision for her future and a family as lively and close-knit as they come. The Padovano sisters, Julia, Sylvie, Cecilia, and Emmeline, are the heart of the novel. Think Little Women, but in 1980s Chicago with a lot more emotional complexity and depth. When William enters their world, it's like he's discovering color for the first time. But life, as always, doesn't stay picture perfect for long. The story follows these characters through love, loss, loyalty, and the kind of quiet heartbreaks that redefine everything you thought you knew about family and identity. Let's talk themes, because Hello Beautiful is rich with them. First up, family. At its core, this novel explores what it means to belong. It asks, is family something you're born into, or something you choose? Then there's trauma and healing. Every character in this book carries invisible wounds, and Ann Napolitano treats their pain with such tenderness. She shows us how grief echoes through generations, and how love can be both the wound and the balm. And I can't ignore the power of sisterhood. Each Padovano sister is her own universe, and yet they're tethered together with a bond that's sometimes suffocating, sometimes life-saving. Their dynamic is messy, beautiful, and oh so real. Finally, we get into forgiveness, not just forgiving others, but the often harder act of forgiving yourself. This book gently, but firmly, pushes its characters, and us, toward emotional growth. Now let's let's talk about the characters. William Waters might just be one of the most quietly powerful protagonists I've read in a long time. His emotional restraint is heartbreaking, and watching him slowly open up to love, and then deal with the consequences of that vulnerability, is devastating in the best way. Then we've got Julia, the eldest Padovano sister. She's driven, passionate, and honestly, a little controlling, but in a way that feels deeply human. She's a woman who wants to fix everything, even if it means breaking a few hearts along the way. Sylvie, the dreamer and literary soul, totally stole my heart. She's introspective, bookish, and emotionally intuitive. If you're a reader, you'll probably see a bit of yourself in Sylvie. And let's not forget Cecilia and Emmeline, artistic, nurturing, full of life. They round out this dynamic foursome, and each brings something vital to the emotional tapestry of the novel. What's beautiful here is the growth. No one stays static. You see characters stumble, evolve, regress, and rebuild. And isn't that exactly what makes fiction feel real? Okay, here's the breakdown. Strengths? Checkmark the writing. Napolitano's prose is elegant without being pretentious. It flows effortlessly and strikes that perfect balance between poetic and clear. Checkmark the characters. So layered, so vulnerable, so deeply alive. Checkmark the emotional depth. This book will wreck you, but in a very cathartic, necessary way. Weaknesses? Honestly, not many, but I will say the pacing in the middle lagged a tiny bit. It's a slow burn, and if you're someone who needs twists and fireworks every few chapters, you might feel like not much is happening. But trust me, stick with it. The payoff is absolutely worth it. Now, personally, Hello Beautiful left me a mess. A good mess. I cried. More than once. But I also felt seen. This is one of those books that stays with you, not because of one big plot twist, but because of how it makes you reflect on your own life, your family, your choices. It made me want to call my siblings. It made me think about childhood wounds and the different ways we all cope with love and pain. It's subtle, it's slow, but it hits, and it hits deep. Also, side note, the literary references sprinkled throughout are a book nerd's dream. There are nods to classic literature, which totally enriched the experience for me. Who should read this book? Bullseye if you're a fan of slow, character-driven stories. Bullseye if you loved Little Women, The Dutch House, or Ask Again, yes. Bullseye if you're into literary fiction that explores family dynamics, emotional healing, and identity. Bullseye book clubbers, this is your next pick. Trust me, so many juicy discussion points. Maybe skip this one if you're craving high-octane action or plot twists on every page. But if you're in the mood for something thoughtful, touching, and gorgeously written, this is it. Alright, time for the final verdict. Party Popper Hello Beautiful by Ann Napolitano earns a glowing 4.8 out of 5 stars from me. The only reason it's not a perfect 5 is that minor pacing lull in the middle. But emotionally? This book is chef's kiss. So worth your time. If you've read it already, let me know in the comments what you thought. Did you cry? Who was your favorite sister? Let's talk. And if you haven't picked it up yet, what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more thoughtful book reviews, reading recs, and emotional ramblings from yours truly. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy reading, friends.